We are live. They
Is it
can
like
they can hear us.
is
Okay,
it like
put the games on. Put the games
Yo.
on screen.
You okay?
Or
Great.
us on screen. I don't really mind.
Great.
Put something on screen.
All right,
welcome
all right,
everyone
yeah,
to the
okay.
live? Oh, wait, okay.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry.
Yeah, this is kind of scuffed. The
There we
dude's
go.
not here to oversee most of the production, but we're trying our best, guys. All right. So, yeah, welcome to the MCC Rising 2 games revealing our announcement stream, I guess. I am your host Ripcord, and I am joined with Sawgun and Aqua Dragon. So yeah, we're gonna be
Hello.
we're gonna be telling you guys about the games and analyzing everything to do with the games this time around, and what Rising participants can expect, and what you as viewers can expect for the games. So yeah, practice. Wait, Arrington in chat from the Orange Ocelot said practice is futile now. They just have all of the games. That is so true.
Loki also said, what a twist."
I mean, yeah. To be honest, I feel like most participants now are kind of like shaking because all
out a
of
little bit.
all of their practice just kind of went out the window, because they really could pick like 7 games that they didn't. Like, they could actually have a game order where it's none of the games on MCC Island.
MCC,
So
yeah.
that's kind of crazy. It's scary. But yeah. So our games, or our game selection, is Bingo But Fast, Ace Race, Battle Box, Survival Games, Build Mart, Santa Time, Grid Runners, Parkour Tag, Parkour Warrior, To Get to the Other Side, Rocket Spleef Rush, Hole in the Wall, Meltdown, and Sky Battle. A very large game selection. Yeah.
So let's start by analyzing the maps, I guess, for now. Bingo is nothing special in terms of maps because it's a random seed, I believe, every time. So nothing to say there, really. Then we have Ace Race, which is Clouds 2.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of expected, to it being really new. I believe is that the Villa map?
Yeah, it's the Villa map.
Yeah.
It's map
that's been
you can see
played
in MCC 14, for example.
Yeah, 14, I think it was like 22 or something. I'm trying to no, it wasn't 22. Was it 24? Yeah, it was 24. It was only played twice, so it's not that many VODs for it, but it is an interesting map.
Yeah, I know like almost everything about the map itself, so I could do some give some tips away. So
And then we have survival games. Solid Objective, tell me what map that is.
I think that's the island map. I forgot how was it called. It's like the MCC, not the MCC island, but like one of the Nox Crew maps made into an SG map.
Yeah.
I forgot how it's
Yeah.
called.
Oh no. Is that the Yeah, that's the oh my gosh, what's it called? Villa. Yeah, isn't it? It's
No,
Villa.
that's the battle box
Oh
map.
Yeah,
no no no
the
no no
Double
no
games.
no! It's the one that's similar though. It has like the village. It starts out in like a little village. Yeah, the MCC 16
Millionaire's
one.
Mansion.
Million Mansion. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you,
that's the one.
thank you, chat. If we don't know something, surely the chat's got it. Build
Yeah,
Mart, same
surely.
map since the start of season 2. Not much to say there. Better be used to those Elytras in building. Saves the time, tells us nothing as usual. It's a
Yeah.
random dungeon. Same as Grid Orders, just the editing room. Nothing really to say there. And then we have the MCC, sorry, MC Championship image. You know, the most important part of the game's image. Then we got, then we got Dust Bowl, because I guess that's just the trend recently with Parkour Tag. Parkour Warrior tells us nothing. Get Side tells us one thing: the shallow lava is going to be in. So
Yay! Let's
practice
go.
that. At least.
Shallow lava.
Yeah.
Actually, Rush, I really can't tell which map that is from that.
I think this is the classic map.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And then we have Fishbowl. It's been on MCC Island for a while now. It was in the last canon event. Makes sense. Meltdown tells us nothing. And then we have Mesa being brought back for Sky Battle, which
Yeah.
it's been a minute.
Yo.
I
Let's
know it
go.
was in
It's been a while.
14. I think it was MCC 24 it was in, but
Yeah, it was
don't
in
remember
when
the last time.
it was. I know it
And
was in.
22, I believe, right? Or no, was it 21? Either way, actually,
Yeah, it was
I think
21. Yeah, it was
21
21.
and 24.
Yeah.
It hasn't been in a while.
Yeah, I think Mesa, to be honest, is kind of a middle of the road map. It's not like one of my favorites, or I don't think it's a lot of people's favorites because it's only been played like twice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's still a pretty decent map.
I do like the gold to block gimmicks. That's pretty interesting about it. It is
Oh,
also
yeah.
a map that
Yeah.
generally favors higher end PvP teams more than other maps, so
hmm
keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more PvP instead of like I guess bridging. You would say, I would say, like,
Yeah.
I mean, look at Dream. He literally got what, like 17 kills, was it, on the map?
No, that was an MCC 11. That was a different
Oh,
map.
never mind.
Yeah.
Well, he still got a lot of kills on the map in 24. So
Yeah, no, yellow like popped off that
Yeah.
event.
So a lot
yeah.
more PvP, a lot more on the ground PvP if you get Sky Battle this time around for those participants that are listening.
Okay, I guess we can go into the advice segments finally, because we've already analyzed the maps. Bingo. For anyone like to start off with their advice for any participants that might be watching or new viewers to the event?
I think I could take this one, I guess. Bingo is my favorite game, MCC, obviously. I would like to mention it's not the remix from the Scuffed MCC that you have to say bingo. You just get the items. With that out of the way, basically it's like regular bingo. You have your sheet. You have to get your items, and it's not like you get items and they're removed for other teams. I think 5 teams can take each item, and the points decrease in the placement you get the item. So if you get the item first, you get the most coins, and if you get the item fifth, like the 15 that gets the item, they get the lowest coins, and the 16 shouldn't get any coins if I'm correct. Then you also got, I think, all the tools you need. You have like Silk Touch and stuff. You should have the Ender Pearl, which you can use to TP to your teammates around the map. I think the most important idea is to like actually look at the sheet before actually playing, so you know what you're going for. It's a good idea to assign roles for the players. Like some players can go mining, some players can go like to the overworld, and so on. I think I summed it up. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you summed it up pretty well.
Yep. It's keep in mind you have a crafting book, and if you want to take some time to learn some general Minecraft recipes before the event, it's not a bad idea, because even if it doesn't help you in bingo necessarily, it could also potentially help you in grid owners.
Yeah, I feel like bingo has a really high chance of getting played. I don't
Yeah.
know. It feels like one of those games a lot of the participants would want to play. So yeah, I feel like bingo
one
would
of the
definitely get
games.
played.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's one of the games that helps to be either an SMP player, hardcore player, or like a speedrunner. All those kind of people tend to benefit more from bingo compared to other other participants. So if you have just good game knowledge of Minecraft, this should be a really good game for you.
Yeah.
Next up, Ace Race.
Yeah.
No.
Um.
Uh,
Oh,
there's no best
yeah.
route
Yeah.
for this map, and that's mainly because Nextru's not been the biggest fan of them.
Yeah. I
So,
guess just VOD review really for Ace Race
but
and practice
yeah,
on the practice server. That's really all we can say for Ace Race.
Uh,
Um,
I
yeah,
mean,
practice server for the mechanics and
mhm.
voting for the path, and that's about it.
Yeah.
check out Ampros, FBM. They
Mhm.
did pretty good in their first run of it. So,
Uh huh. Yep. All right.
up to you.
Next up, we have Battle Box. What's this map called again?
It's a
Villa?
villa.
Villa, it's been in two
Villa,
MCC.
the map was
Is
played in
it?
MCC 14 and 24, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
So in MCC 14, I remember pretty vividly. Um, so basically, this map is one of the maps that a lot of people like to go 2 and 2 on either side. It's basically you start out on top. There's two routes, like always, and one of them leads to like this little, like, I guess, gap where there's lava, and then it's like a 4 or 3 block jump, something like that. Probably a 3 block
It's a
jump.
free block jump.
Yeah, it's a three
Yeah.
block jump between the between the wooden planks, and then there's lava underneath, and not a lot of players really fall in it, so it's not unless you get crit into it or something like
Yeah.
that. But
There are
Yeah.
also ladders, so it's really hard to
oh
fall
yeah,
unless you
yeah,
get
yeah. There's
out of
also
it.
ladders to help you if you do end up getting in the lava and somehow survive.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the other route goes down to a staircase, and then there's like bookshelves for cover. That's on the right side. The left side is the side with the gap in the lava. And then once you go down the stairs, I think there's 2 staircases. Are they on opposite sides or on the same side?
Yeah, opposite sides.
Opposite sides. So it's like
Each
back.
side has a staircase.
Yeah, so if you're looking forward, there's a staircase on the back left or in the back left corner, and there's a staircase in the bottom right, which is the one, that's your staircase, and the back left is the other team's staircase. And then basically the staircases lead down to another small little staircase that ends up leading to the bigger area, which is where the wool is, and then it's like this kind of just like stone. It's just like a flat stone surface, and then there's a little cup. There's what is it? A damage pot?
Yeah,
Da-
damage pot.
Yeah.
it's a damage pot underneath each team's spawns. So what you want to do is you want to go on the right side, run down the staircase, preferably without getting shot by a bow, and then
Yeah.
quickly just duck underneath your spawn where there's a little gap, and then there's a damage pot, and you take that. And then you'd want to use that when a team's like trying to rush wool, or there's like a battle in the middle. Usually you'd want to use it then. And the damage bots didn't get really rushed that hard when they were being used in MCC 14. They weren't used as well as they could have been. So I think this event's most likely they'll get used pretty well, I think. And then there's a little I don't know what you call it. I guess a window. There's no glass, but it's like a window when you first spawn in that's for like people to have a quick shot off the spawn. So watch out for that. And yeah, that's I think that's all right. Anything else?
Yeah, basically the map is also a pretty good map for wall rushing if you find a
Mhm.
strategy good for a team.
Yeah.
Also, the kits, if I remember correctly, it's a quick charge 1 crossbow, 2 healing pots, I think healing 2 maybe,
Yeah.
splash potions obviously,
Uh-huh.
extra 8 arrows and a speed potion.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very important to use your healing well as the fact, like I said, if this is definitely a decently strong map for bows, but be aware someone can easily flank you on this map still.
Yeah, this is definitely a map to watch out for the sap and app type of flank. So watch out for that from the PvP Central teams. And
Yeah.
one more thing from me I think is usually you'd want to go 2 and 2 on this map. You could go all 4 on one side, but 2 and 2 usually worked pretty well for most teams on this map.
Yeah.
Millionaire Mansion, honestly, not the most special survival games map, but nonetheless, most things still apply. Make sure to loot up. Make sure to stick together as a team, because the second you get separated is the second you get cleaned by another team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this
if your goal is to prioritize survival, if you see a free kill, you can go for it. Just be aware of your surroundings and where everyone else is relative to you.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
map has a lot of different areas. Way too much for me to remember or to cover. But yeah, for the most part, it's just a bunch of houses with a lot of grassy fields in between. There's a lot of gates, so make sure you don't get trapped in a certain area where you're not able to escape, because there is a lot of gates, trees, and stuff that gets in your way. So just make sure you're taking the more easier route, I guess, when you're trying to like get around stuff. And then yeah, just try to loot like a giant, I mean, it's called Millionaire Mansion for a reason. Try to loot one of the giant like mansion buildings that are preferably, or I think, no, I think they, yeah, mostly spawn in like the back or the farther side of the farther back sides of the map. So try to like rush one of those quickly, because those give you pretty good stuff. And then yeah, and then the end always happens in a really congested area. So try maybe do the Sylvie strat where you go up the water fountain. That might work if you have a bunch of, I don't know, throwable items like damage pots or arrows. So you could
Uh,
try that, but I don't know. It might work if you're like, if you're just winging it, but for the most part, yeah, just try to place a couple pieces of TNT at the end. Try to get some cheeky kills, because it's really easy to do in this map, because it's such a small little area and there's not cover really at all. And yeah, you would most likely want to have all four of your team, or all three of your teammates plus you alive at the end, so you can get as many kills as possible. I guess that's
Also,
pretty
quick
obvious.
remember thing, there's no longer iron axes or iron chest plates in the game, so chainmail chest plate is the max now, as well as the fact at the end you slowly lose hearts just automatically. So take advantage of that fact where eventually it's going to get to a point where you can just one it crit someone out.
Oh,
Yep.
somebody in chat said the border doesn't go all the way in now, so it won't be as congested, but it will still be
Oh yeah.
pretty tight.
Uh,
Uh,
I
I
think the fountain doesn't get covered entirely then.
yeah,
So the
yeah.
final fight should be pretty awkward because of the fountain. Is like the fountain isn't like the usual like for the World of Chaos map, for example. Like that's a pretty open fountain, but here it's a pretty close-up area with all of the pillars around it. I think it's
Mhm.
gonna be a really bunched-up area with a lot of players
Yeah.
like on a really close area.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, build mark time. No. So you want to take this one away?
Yeah, basically Buildmart, if you don't know what it is, it's a building game when you copy buildings that you have in front of you into your own, like basically copying buildings into your own box. Uh, it's not important to place the blocks. I think in the exact same place. No, okay, forget about it. You have to like copy the buildings precisely. You have to like place the stairs and everything in the exact same way as it is in the build. You have to copy. Um, you have you have the middle, which is a huge fan. When you exit your building room, basically you fly into the air and have to find your blocks into each of the islands there are. There are like I think 8 main islands, maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
I think it's close to like 12 or something like that. I don't know. But yeah.
they made me bored, of course. And below them, there are all the colors, the colored
Mhm.
ones, which include the colored concretes, walls, I think, and glass.
Yeah.
The glass blocks, not the glass panes. You have to craft the glass panes,
So
right?
heads up, remember you have a silk touch pickaxe to mine that with for the glass, or you'll get nothing.
Yep.
Mhm.
You have 2 pickaxes, one without a silk touch and one with it, I think.
And quick key VOD for this is MCC 17 Green. He does the, what does he call it?
The
Oh my
floater
gosh.
strat.
Yeah. He
Roller strat.
Yeah, so watch MCC 17 Green for a big like help for this map, because I think it actually helps out a lot. And yeah, that really covers everything about build marts.
I guess other than gold builds are important. Focus those if you have the chance to.
Yeah, try, because there's what, 3 builds? Every build mart
Yeah,
has
3
3 builds.
builds.
So yeah,
That's why there's
try.
only one floater and then 3 people focusing on builds.
Yeah. So if like say you have the floaters out getting stuff, one person's working on one build, and then the gold build appears, try to have the person who's focusing on the other normal build, try to have them finish up as quick as possible, so then you and the gold build person can double team the gold build as fast as, and get that done as fast as possible. Because if you do the gold build first, that is like so many points. So try
Yeah,
to do that.
it's basically like 3 or 4 times the amount of the regular build coins.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's actually insane. So try
Yep.
that, and then yeah, I think that's all.
All right.
Sans the time. This is going to be a really
One more extra
complicated
tip for
one.
build mart that I wanted to say that you should get every type of wood at the start. It's a really helpful
Oh
thing
yeah,
because
yeah,
a lot of builds, like almost all of them, include some type of wood.
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
need you
Slabs,
to get
stairs, all
yeah,
types of kinds of things. Yeah.
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 So just get a bunch of wood of every type, and you're good to go for the rest of the game, basically. Okay, sense of time. You can go.
Okay. Let's take this slow, I guess. First of all, in the center we have a few things. Mainly a bunch of sand, a bunch of coins, and whatever. Some leverage you can flip to get more coins, and also potentially spawn more mobs. Different pathways with a few important puzzles, being the red key one, as well as there's the emerald vault off of spawn, which are the other big one. And then finally below the fountain there's a blue key. Now, all of these keys are important, obviously, because you need them to unlock the vaults, which is where you can find the biggest yield amount of coins. The big exception are the gold and green key, where both of those are hidden somewhere in the dungeon. I've seen the past has been like in like the gold vault path, but it could be anywhere in the dungeon. But if you find it, big amount of coins. And then the gold key is special because you have to do some decently difficult parkour or extremely difficult parkour, depending how evil Noxcu's feeling that day. As we've seen with the chain one being at least fairly achievable for a decent amount of people. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, completely fine. Lava parkour is risky because if you die, those coins are actually just gone. And as in for the one with the slabs and the fences, I would not attempt that unless you are like go absolutely, and I do mean absolutely go to that parkour, because yeah. But anyways, like I said, at the start there are pathways, and you'll see markings in the wall designating the color of what vault is down that way, whether it's gold, red, or green. No, sorry, red, gold, red, or blue, not green. Green's in spawn. Moving over that. And you basically, normally the strategy is to have one person in the center, Sandkeeper, keep control of the sand and timer, doing stuff in the spawn area, just getting to get those extra bit of coins, and making sure the stand timer is being kept up and nice, as well as warning people to come back to give sand or telling them when they need to head out. The other big thing is we have the explorers. Normally, you'll assign one person per vault, one to red, one to blue, and one to gold. The gold person normally is just there to get the sand in the pathway, and normally doesn't end up getting the gold vault, but if they do, that is nice. Also in the spawn, we have the Sphinx, which you can use to bank coins at a cost of 20%, which is the same penalty if you die and pick up your coins. But yeah, normally the Sphinx is never worth it unless like you wanted to bank coins before attempting like gold hardcore. If you're really not feeling confident, that could in theory be worth it, but for the most part, I'd say just don't bother and just bank your coins and then it'll pearl at the end when you're ready to go. And other big advice: avoid lava parkour. And unless you were like extremely confident in your parkour, it's just normally not really worth the extra coins. As well as if you see a Ravager, do not go there. It is not worth it. It is basically impossible to kill a Ravager, and your best bet is just to run away from it. Anything else would like to be stated?
Not really. Just yeah, have really good communication, and make sure you guys are actually like I don't know, I guess just on top of everything. Like if you think something's off or you don't know about something, try to ask your teammates or try to ask chat, cuz most of the time either chat or one of your teammates will probably know the answer to your question. So don't be afraid to ask questions about something you think is off or something like that.
I mean, ideally, don't ask chat unless you really have to, because it's better to rely on your teammates, because all it takes is one person being wrong in chat to screw you over. So I will say that
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, maybe
So don't.
hire some like MCC experts then. I don't know.
Yeah. just have at least one person in your team do some VOD reviewing in the dungeon. The pathway is always randomized, so there's no like consistent strategy. But like I said, make sure you choose a good sandkeeper that is both loud and assertive, because the last thing you need to do is someone to like quietly say, "There's 30 seconds left," and you are not able to get out of the dungeon.
Yep.
But yeah, I
All right.
definitely recommend VOD reviewing Sands if you have not.
Oh yeah, definitely. At least VOD review at least like three good ones, preferably H Bomb or Ant Frost, JoJo
Jojo,
Solos, really any,
I,
yeah, any of like
any of
the,
the any of the yeah.
yeah.
Ripcord, do you want to take Grid Runners?
Sure. Grid runners. What do I say about? I don't. There's not really much to say about grid runners, to be honest. Just watch like the past like four-ish events, whether that's non-canon or canon. Doesn't really matter because they keep the rooms the same for the most part. It's just slight little variations. So yeah, I would say for grid runners mainly it's really just VOD reviewing and knowing the certain variations of a room. So like try to I don't know, maybe try to do some like memorization technique for the rooms so you kind of can, so once you like the, you know how like the title appears when you first get
Yeah.
into the room, so once you know what the title of the room is and you recognize the room, you can know what the task is and help your team out. So yeah, just that's really all I have to say for grid owners.
Few other tips. The clean the statue is like almost always in, instead of like defeat the beast. So
Yeah. Yeah,
those are like
that's
they're almost always in. And then also at the start, try to land in the buoys. And like try to like run it, like sprint like off like at the start and land in the buoys. It'll give you a little extra time save. Also, make sure to plan out where you're gonna like split up, how you're gonna split up. Two of you, which two are going left and right, which two, and which like spot like you're taking the farthest left one, the center left one, the center right one, or the farthest right one. Who's all taking those spots, and to keep it consistent, to keep it fast. And
yeah.
yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's really about it. Grid owners is a pretty simple game.
Okay, just because you didn't get to do much, you want parkour tag now, ripcord or no?
Sure.
Um,
Or
do you
Saw,
want to
you
do it?
want to do parkour tag?
Oh, I guess it really doesn't matter who takes it. Everyone can have
I
it.
guess I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take Parker Tag and Rocket Blue then.
Yeah, you are the
Fair enough.
parkour master. So
Right. Okay. Parkour Tag. So the game works the same way as BattleBox. You're playing one game against each of the teams. You're always split into three and one, basically one hunter that's hunting the three runners of the enemy team, and you have your own three runners that they're supposed to like outlive the enemy hunter in the 1 minute 1 minute timer. Basically, the runners can use the runner vision for a while. It's like timed for a few seconds. Basically, you can see the enemy hunter. Other than that, you cannot really know where the enemy hunter is unless your teammates tell you. So communication here is crucial, especially among the runners. The hunter always sees the enemy runners. They're like highlighted into the map. Like they have the glowing effect. I think it's called like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the map itself, it's pretty simple, other than a few jumps maybe being a little more difficult. From what I remember, the ice parts are pretty good. If you know how to spam the spacebar, the ice bars are pretty good. There's also one really good spot that wasn't really used in the event. It's like really on the left, like really on the top. I don't know how to explain it. I just move on. Okay. The map itself, you could see in the Pride events, for example. It's just recolored this map for the Pride event. It's called Gay Bowl, I think.
Not Pride
Basic
Bowl, but yeah.
Pride Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't matter. Never mind. Yeah, I think that's about it. The scoring doesn't really matter because it's like the highest scoring players rarely reach above like 500 coins. I think if you do bad in this game, don't really stress about it. It's just not really that high scoring game anyway.
Also, I guess quick advice. Once you're out, start giving comms to your team, because
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
that is a big help. Some of the best like best players in parkour tag, despite not being the highest scoring players, are the ones that give comms after death. As well as obviously make sure to be smart with your picks on who you pick as hunters. Make sure to use teams that you think you can beat with players you think that can beat them.
Yep.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
the hunters are you can only pick being a hunter only 4 times, so at least
yeah.
3 different people have to be a hunter during the
Yeah.
event.
That's pretty
Some of the
big. Yeah.
strategies are just to have the people use their hunts all in a row. Other people like to be more strategic in who they're hunting against. It's just more up to preference. It works both ways, honestly. I've seen both work out.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Parkour warrior.
Parkour warrior.
Parkour, do you want this one? Or you want me to take it? Up to you.
I'll take this one. You can take to get to your side.
Fair enough.
Parkour warrior. Basically, all you need to do is like a few things. One, you need to VOD review Purpled MCC 32. VOD review his VOD because he pulled off one of like the craziest runs in parkour, just parkour history, like just in general, because he is insane at Minecraft parkour, and he did what was it, 15 for 15, and
15 for
all of
15
the
hard
bonus
ending.
paths, yeah. So he literally completed the entire course and the hard difficulty. He literally did everything perfectly for the game. So he literally got the max amount of points, individually at least. And so yeah.
Well, not quite, because all team members would have to wait the hard ending for that.
Oh well, he got the most points he could have at least.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, so watch that VOD. Really just make smart decisions. Try as hard as, or practice this non-stop. If you think you guys are gonna get it played, or you think it's gonna get played, try to practice the parkour warrior on MCC Island non-stop, whether that's dojo or survivor, because it's very similar. It's sort of like grid runners. It's very similar courses, but it's slight variations that make it a little bit different every time. So just practice. VOD review Purple's MCC 32 VOD, and make smart decisions when it comes to like the last like 3 minutes. If you know you can't do this certain parkour course, then just use your scroll to get out of there and just try to complete it. If you know you can do the medium path, do the medium path. If you don't think you can do the medium path, try it like 3 times and then go to easy, or try it and then succeed and then you get the medium path done. So like yeah, I would suggest for most players to try the medium path at least like 5 times. And if you don't think you can get it, then just go off to easy. But yeah, for the people that are daring to do the hard path, which is the salmon ladder, go ahead, I guess. I mean, yeah, you could always go back. So yeah, that's really all I think for parkour warrior.
Make sure you always have enough time to finish. Finishing bonuses helps your team out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, try to see if you can do the first bonus path. If you can't, you can always, if you like something too difficult, just skip it and then try a different bonus path. And if you don't have time, obviously, just make sure you finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The average finishing time for the easy path is like less than a minute. So if you have like a bit more than a minute, then you're fine to go for the easy path. If you have a bit more time than like a minute or two, maybe even more, you can try to go for the harder paths if you feel like it.
Yep. Also there is overtime. So if there's, if there's like what, I don't know, like
30
more
seconds,
than one, yeah, it's like a minute or 30 seconds. But if it's more than like one person still not left, then they go into overtime, or they haven't finished, and it's basically just, yeah, you get an extra little bit of time to finish your certain path. So make sure you don't stress out about finishing in the time, because there is overtime. But the thing about overtime that makes it overtime is that if you die, and you lose what? You lose all your points, or you just don't get finishing points?
Oh, you just don't get finishing.
Yeah, you just don't get finishing points. So
all your medals still are good. It's just
yeah.
that you have no opportunity to earn more medals or get the bonus for finishing.
Yeah, which kind of sucks for your overall like points. So I would suggest to be smart about overtime and everything like that.
Yep.
Next up we have, I guess to decide. I guess I'm taking this one. So to get to the other side, so far, like I said, we see Shallow Lava, which is a pretty simple map. It's a map with a bunch of 1 block deep lava, with the exception of a few parts, where you're just basically placing blocks on the lava, trying to get to the end, and then punch a fan. Or you could just, borrow someone else's block and just parkour on those. Either way,
Yeah,
if you're like
either
really
way
good with
works.
block placing, just try your best at the end as fast as you can. I recommend to the side if you can help it, avoiding people unless you really are really good at the game, in which case get ahead of the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And punching, I would only recommend punching in a few scenarios. Basically, if you know for a fact that you're at the very end and you really feel like grieving someone, I guess it's not the worst thing ever, though karma could come back. So I'm gonna warn you now. I
Yeah.
normally would advise against it, but I'm not gonna say there's no scenario where punching is worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would agree. Um.
There's gonna be 5 other maps. We don't know what they are. They range in a variety of different things. I recommend just looking up some to play some MCC Island and looking up some to side VODs just to get a feeling for the maps because it'd just take too long to name all the maps. To be honest with you.
Yeah. To get to your side is kind of a curveball for most teams, unless you are really confident in your just overall mechanics of the game. So yeah.
So team
You
bonuses
try
are
it. Yeah, team bonuses are pretty big. You can
pretty big.
explain them.
So basically, if you're on the first 4 teams out of the 10 to finish, you get a team bonus for every single member. So if you can just take a little bit of extra time to help make sure all your team members finish, it could be worth it. Now, granted, the top like top 5 spots, I'll give you a stupid amount of coins. So if you're like really really good, it might be better for you individually to just finish. But if not, like I said, it's still big to get the team bonuses, so it's definitely worth it. The big thing is keep in mind to decide is a few different skill sets. It's not just block placing. It's also just some maps that are just I don't know, just parkour. So just be aware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, next up, Rock
Um,
Sweep Rush. You said you wanted this one.
yeah, just gonna add something to the to the side. Basically, I recommend watching the update video because sometimes they just show more maps from the to get to the side there, so you may
Yeah.
use it as your advantage. And one more thing, this to get to the side doesn't have any modifiers, neither the hole in the wall, and Battlebox and Skybattle don't have any orbs or sparks, so it's basically vanilla Minecraft.
Specifically battle box. Yeah, there's only the 4 kits, but it's just a single like item basically. Forgot to mention
Yep.
that.
All right, Rocket Split Rush then. The game has 3 rounds. If you don't know anything about the game, you should probably watch some VODs. In in a nutshell, it's a game when you basically try to survive the longest without dying at the border. There's no floor. Basically, just these platforms you have to land on and survive the longest amount of time. Um, the platforms can disintegrate over time, and obviously you can destroy them by your rockets. The best way to move would be probably boosting yourself upwards by the rockets. I think the best way is by shooting a rocket below you directly and spamming spacebar as soon as as the rocket touches the ground, and then after that you just look in front of you and glide. Basically, that's the highest amount of height you can get from a rocket jump. Then the other way should be the elytra hops. I think
Which
these are better explained by a lot of YouTube videos. Basically, elytra hop is you land on a block while flying, and you immediately look upwards while spamming your spacebar, leading to your elytra like deactivating and activating in a span of a second, and getting you a bit of a momentum. So yeah, it's a pretty helpful tip. When it comes to the ending, Dragon Split Rush changed, so now no additional players can survive, so it's only one survivor. And
except for team.
the final platform, basically you can try some cheeky strats while exploding your enemies, like Pills of Strat, the infamous Pills of Strat, when you explode your enemies while they fly at you directly. Yeah, I think that covered most of the Rocket Split Rush. Did I miss anything?
Yep. I will give a few like little less things. Bear in mind that elytra hopping can be a little ping based, so if you have a really weird ping, it may not be the best for you. So feel free to experiment with your first round of Rocket Split Rush, especially if it's early, like an early game. But if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. It does help out quite a bit. Keep in mind that the last map's normally a really fast map, so you're gonna want to be ready for that.
Yep.
I
I think I missed the updraft because
Oh
that's
yeah,
a really important
updraft.
thing.
Also,
Basically,
top 10 individual bonuses are huge. So
yep. Okay. The updraft, in a nutshell, it's a way to get you out of the death in a really bad situation. Basically, if you don't make the platform, you can use the updraft and boost yourself upwards by like 10 blocks or so. It's basically your last chance of surviving the round. Also, the updrafts don't last the entire round, so they get taken like during the rounds themselves, and so you should probably use them right before they're gone. It should show some kind of animation that updrafts are getting taken away. So make sure to tell your teammates as well.
please do not use enough trap when there's blocks above you. Please check beforehand.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen too many times.
If you can check before you.
I mean, I guess if you're like literally at the void, yeah, then obviously. Also, the best way to preserve like momentum is to keep your crosshair basically where the horizon changes color. Is what I've heard. So try that out.
Yeah, just either a little bit like above it, or I think it's like either right on it. It's like
Yeah, I recommend going to on the practice server and trying out the rocket boost a bit before the event.
I always forget that they have a little like rocket spleef section.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
still waiting for Rock Spleef Russian Island, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, it's the next game, all right? There's a coming soon sign. It's the next game, all right? I need it to be. Anyways.
Hole in the wall.
No.
Ooh.
Oh wait, yeah. Next up we have Hole in the Wall. One of my favorite games. Not to watch in the event, but to play in on OCI. But anyways, that's besides the point. Yeah, this is what, the fishbowl map, I think?
Yep, this is fishbowl.
Yep. Alright, so literally all you have to do is just go on MCC Island, play Hole in the Wall nonstop, keep on playing it so you can get fishbowl enough times to where you get comfortable with the map, and that's really all. Also, if you can, try to spam your spacebar if you have a certain amount of ping. I don't know. I think it's like Pearl and H-Bomb are like the two main contestants that always abuse that strat and spam their spacebar to with their ping, and then they end up glitching through the walls. So if you can do that, try that. Or if you know you're gonna die and you're gonna fall off, try at least to spam it. And sometimes the walls will let you do that, and they will let you glitch through. It really all depends. It's kind of luck based and also ping based. So, but yeah, that's really
I've seen people on the East Coast pull it off like Sapnap. So
yeah,
don't say never say never on that one. But yeah. Also, fishbowl. Be aware that there's large holes in the floor.
So
you're going to really be careful when you hop. Make sure that you're dealing with the wall and the floor.
Yeah, I don't think fishbowl doesn't delete as fast as some other maps because there's pretty big holes. So you won't really have to worry about the map deleting that much. I think it's only going to be by like increments of like 2. So it'll be like a 2 blocks here, 2 blocks there when they delete. And I don't think it's going to be that much because there is such a big gap between the platforms. So yeah, really all you have to worry about is just jumping through walls. That's
okay. I guess I'll take a meltdown. Okay, so first thing you want to do is load up Valorant. No, I'm kidding. On a serious note, though. Yep, this is a FPS game more or less in that aspect. So any skills in that tend to translate pretty well, as we've seen from MCC 27 Cyan in this game. But basically, you have a bow that shoots arrows that instantly freeze a person on the enemy team if hit. And if you're frozen, you're not dead, but you could become it because unless someone on your team places a heater next to you within a certain range, you will be stuck there. And if the entire team gets frozen, you're out. So you got to be careful. Make sure that you hit them with your bow first. This is why you want to take advantage of positioning. Make sure if you have a corner, make sure to use like F5 and check around the corner and stuff like that. And also there's a pickaxe that only one person in your team can hold at a time. And that pickaxe can mine coin crates. And if you mine the coin crates,
you get coins.
Your team gets the coins split amongst each other. Kill coins are individual. And also you get bonus coins for the team for the placement in the round. Coins when you survived. Keep in mind, all rooms will melt down eventually. So you're going to want to do is to make sure to continue moving and also making sure that you're safe when you enter a new room,
Yeah.
as there can be a team anywhere. So always be aware. Certain spawns are better than others, but no spawn is impossible to live with.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think that about covers it. Center. Actually, I guess I should mention coin rooms are very big. Get the coin rooms, get to them, and defend them, and then get them.
Yeah.
After a
Try
certain
to.
amount of time, the coin rooms will open up,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the coins. They open at separate times.
Yep. Yeah. Just try your best to like, peek the corners and just make sure to get the best angle, especially in the coin rooms. Try to get the best angle so you can protect your teammates and also the coins from the other team. And yeah, that really is it. Yeah, heaters. Just make sure.
Oh yeah,
Wait, do
pick
heaters?
them up
Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah,
So heaters,
they
even
will
if you don't
eventually
break
come
them,
back
do
to you.
they still come back eventually?
They do come back to you eventually, but
Mm-hmm.
it's faster to break them, and there's a bit of a cooldown to replacing them.
Yeah, I think it's like
As
8 seconds, 10 seconds.
that's like the last thing is stick together, but there is a certain point where a team member is impossible to save, and once you believe that is the case, it is better to leave them if you don't think it's possible to save them, and try to get more survival coins, maybe get a cheeky kill, or get some cheeky coins, than to die there with your teammate. But for
Yeah.
the most part, I'd say stick together.
All right. I think that covers meltdown.
On to Sky Battle. Final one. Who wants it?
I guess I'll take it. Then.
Go for it.
Right, Sky Battle, the last game on their selection. I don't really remember much about the map, so I'm gonna explain the game itself. Basically, it works in the same ways on MCCI, except that you don't have any orbs or sparks here. So if you punch someone into the void, they don't expect them to fly back at you. Basically, if they don't have an ender pearl, they are your coins. Yeah. Okay. Here on MCC itself, the scoring is different than on MCCI. Basically, here the kills are less worth it.
40 versus 50. It's not
yeah,
as bad. I would
yeah.
decrease this, I
Basically,
think.
I mean they're still pretty worthy, but just less than they used to be. So that if your team survives longer as a whole, it gives you more points than it used to. So it could be a viable option for you if you don't feel like PvPing too much. Just try to survive the longest, and you should get pretty good amount of coins that way.
Though 2 kills is about the same as surviving till the end ish, maybe 3 now. So getting kills is still very important in this game compared to other PvP games.
Yep.
Yeah. Make sure your
Make
bridge
sure,
is
yeah.
safe. Um, make sure you pick up and you organize your inventory somewhat so you can make sure you what?
Make sure to grab the iron blocks and
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
grab the crafting table while you're at it. There's a few different chests that can have things like fishing rods and cobwebs and a few other things. So
Yeah, just make
just
sure you
make sure.
maximize most of your items. Like, I know it's
Awesome.
really hard to do in the moment, but like, try your best to organize your inventory when you get a chance and, maximize your TNT, creepers, whatever, you know what I mean? And cobwebs and stuff like that.
Yeah, other big thing. You start with a gold chest plate specific on this map versus the iron one you normally start with.
Oh, yeah,
Also,
yeah.
gold helmets and iron helmets do the exact same thing, have the exact same armor value. Should you not make iron helmets? Just make gold helmets. It's not
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, the armor value
Normally,
is really confusing, to be honest.
yeah.
Um,
That's all the other pieces of gold and iron. Iron's better, but the helmet is the big exception.
mhm.
Normally, I'd be yelling at people for making iron chest plates, but you don't start with an iron chest plate in this map. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Some people like to armor up one person heavily and then like get armor from killing people, and other
Yeah.
people like to split up the armor. It really just depends
Yeah,
on
it
your
depends
team.
on your team, yeah.
Both of them could work out. I've seen both work out.
Yeah. And if you
Yeah.
didn't know, make iron chest plates and pants, whatever kind of pants, really. But yeah, preferably if you are gonna armor up your entire team, then do chest plate and pants.
Yeah, like do not make iron helmets.
Yeah, please don't.
I will comment on this in the VOD review.
Yeah. And also share this with your fellow participants if you are a participant watching right now, please. So you are able to maximum. I guess no, actually don't do that because then you're giving them an advantage.
Yeah, show your
Yeah, I guess
teammates.
just show your team really, and then yeah, talk about it while you're listening to talk about it while you're listening to this VOD. But
Yeah,
yeah,
this should be a good rundown, all
yeah.
things considered. But do some VOD watching. We can only do so much. We're not in the event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that covers everything.
Yeah, I guess we can give our closing thoughts. This is definitely an interesting decision by Knox Group, but definitely one I'm excited for. I don't know what they're going to do in terms of Decision Dome because there's two ways this could work. They can either expand it so it can hold more than 8 games, because obviously 14 is a bit much, or they could just have a game arrive every time, which massively might change how the games are going to be played, depending on
Mm-hmm.
which one arrives. Because normally it's just
Yeah,
one game arriving,
I don't
but
know.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Also, I'm
interesting.
also the audience vote's going to be interesting.
Oh yeah. Wait. Oh no, never mind. I was about to say they could just expand the poll, but Twitter only maxes out at
Yeah,
4, right? Yeah.
but
Dang.
simply
Maybe
also
they wait.
remember least amount of votes,
What if they just
just
put in
in
like
case.
4, or no, they put in like 2 different polls, and they're like, and then
Oh
they
my
had like
god,
a final poll.
it's just like 3 different polls,
Yeah, and then they just have
and then
like,
they do a final one.
yeah, that'd be funny. Actually, that actually might work, to be honest. I don't know.
Also, vote Skyblockle totally.
Yeah, just like tell all your viewers to vote Skyblockle and confuse the heck out of them. That'd be funny.
Yeah,
Um,
enjoy this. Enjoy this is your opportunity. Whatever games you want to play, play. Normally, I would say play the games you don't want to play early. That way, they can't screw you over in late game. But this sheer number of games, yeah, 6 games are getting skipped. So
yeah, if
just try
you
to skip it, I guess.
yeah, if you know what the other team's strengths are and like they want some certain gameplay late, preferably try to go after that and like kind of like try to play the other team's best games early so it kind of gets out of the way. I know it would be kind of hard because there's only 4 of you with 4 chickens, but
I mean, unless
maybe you get lucky. I don't know. Decision
you get the
dome's
Mega
kind
Chicken
of
Swap.
crazy. Yeah, maybe I don't know. But yeah, preferably go for the other team's best games first, and then try to
Yeah,
get your
from
best
there,
games. And yeah,
yeah, just
just have fun.
early game, play the games you don't want to play or the games you don't want to play late, and then
Hmm.
from there, if the game's not been played, just try to skip it. There's 6 games.
Yeah.
Granted, the chickens are probably gonna just walk out of games, so vote as late as you can, but also make sure you vote.
Hmm.
So because if you vote really early, they're just gonna walk out of your game immediately.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's all.
Yep.
All right. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Again, as always, make sure to follow us on Twitter. Leave a like and subscribe down below. Join our Discord because our Discord's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Do everything you can to share this with every participant possible. Even maybe the Nox crew. I don't know. Just share the stream. Do everything. Watch our interviews with the Orange Ocelots and the Purple Pandas that came out like an hour ago. Watch both of those videos because those are pretty cool. Not gonna lie. And yeah, that's really all. Let us know your thoughts down below in the comments once this becomes a VOD about the games, or comment on other videos and let us know about the games. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.